This tiny island is said to be cursed. In fact, it's said to have been cursed multiple times over, and yet generations of fortune hunters have been drawn here in the hope of getting rich. The island lies just off the coast of Connecticut, America's most pointless state, but it is one of the more historically important, and just half a mile from the island is the city of Milford, founded in 1639. Among the strange and infamous characters to pay Milford a visit was William Kidd, the Scottish pirate better known as Captain Kidd. It was 1699, and as Captain Kidd made his way through New England, he stashed his treasure on various small islands, because that's what you do when you're a world-famous pirate. But he would never get to retrieve said treasure. Lured into Boston with a false promise of clemency, the governor of New York had him arrested and taken back to England, where he was executed. In the aftermath, countless treasure hunters set out to find Captain Kidd's fortune, and one of the prime locations they flocked to was Charles Island. But many who went looking here were met by a tragic fate. According to local law, the betrayal of Captain Kidd caused his treasure to be cursed, and the closer you get to it, the sooner and more painful your death will be. Strangely though, this is not the only curse associated with the island. 6 decades before, the island was purchased by a man called Charles Deal, who stuck by his surname, striking a great deal with local natives. When I say great, I mean one-sided, and we are told the local chief was furious. Regardless, it went ahead, and Charles Deal transformed the island into a small tobacco plantation. For 15 years, business boomed. Huge amounts of Charles Island tobacco were exported in the colony and beyond. Then, for some unknown reason, it went bust, shutting down virtually overnight. There is a wide variety of reasons a colonial tobacco plantation might fail, but the overwhelming answer given was a supernatural one. If the theory is to be believed, that local native chief who was furious with Charles Deal is behind it. It is said he placed a terrible curse on the island, and if there's one thing I've learned from horror movies, it's that Native American curses are the worst. It goes Native American, then Gypsy, then pirate, then everything else. And so no new plantation was even attempted on the island. It simply stood there, forgotten by the outside world. Fast forward to the early 1700s, and yet another cursed treasure comes into the picture. This story has less credibility, so if you already think I'm talking nonsense, I can only apologize. It involves a hoard of gold once belonging to the last Aztec emperor. Having hidden it from the Spanish 2 centuries before, it was now discovered by pure accident when a group of 5 Americans were exploring an underwater cave. The treasure was so well stashed that 4 of the 5 divers died trying to claim it. Finally though, it was extracted, and in a pure panic, the final diver offloaded it on Charles Island. Why Charles Island? I have no idea. At this point, why not Charles Island? These are the 3 curses, but the dark history of Charles Island does not end there. Following centuries would see further tragedy, like the death of Eliza Pritchard. He was a wealthy industrialist who in the mid-1800s tried to open a luxury resort here. One of the things that attracted him to Charles Island was its land bridge, a treacherous strip of land only appearing at low tide. Mistime your visit and you may find yourself trapped on the island, or swept away by the tide while walking it. But that is not what killed Eliza Pritchard. Like so many others travelling along the land bridge, he suffered a sudden heart attack. He was not the last to die on the land bridge, and his business was just one in a long line of failed ventures on the island. Today the island is uninhabited. No one is crazy enough to try and live there, because while it may be small, the combination of pirate, Aztec and Native American curses really puts a downer on it.